Okay, things are gonna get a little bit copy and a little bit menty. Right, so I couldn't let this one go. This is Mr. Blah Blah and why I refuse to get any qualifications. Why I refuse to get any coaching qualifications. When I saw this, I know it's a couple of days old. It's taken me a couple of days to be able to get to a position where I can actually record something like this. But my goodness, you know, obviously people have been, you know, I personally have. I've been giving him shit saying he's completely unqualified to coach anyone, and he is. He doesn't have a qualification anywhere in anything. Yeah. So he's actually trying to argue his point that it's actually okay, and it actually makes you a better coach if you are completely unqualified. I mean, you can't make this crap up. But he's actually trying to argue in this video why it's better to have no qualifications for whatever you're doing. So through life, forget college, forget university. You don't need any qualifications for your skills, for what you do, yeah, for your job. So if you have a career, a job, it's probably better that you have no qualifications, you do no training for it, no study, yeah. So go to a doctor. What kind of doctor's best? One that's not qualified to be a doctor. What kind of dentist would you like? Someone with qualifications who's been to dentistry school, or someone who hasn't and has no qualifications? Tough one, eh? So I'd rather go to a qualified doctor who's been to medical school and all that stuff. I'd rather go to a qualified dentist, yeah? Don't want some fucking idiot, you know, pulling teeth out because they've watched a few YouTube videos and they think they can do it. I mean, where does the logic come from in this idiot? Where does it come from? You know, something happens, you get involved, you get arrested, you get involved in something, you know, what kind of lawyer would you like? One that's been to law school, or one that's been watching YouTube videos? This guy is an absolute fucking idiot. And as I was saying in my last roast, you leave him long enough, and he just, you know, give him the rope, let him have the rope. Just, you know, this is it. You have to hit him and then come back, yeah? Because you want to punish this guy, yeah? You want to punish this cuck, all right? So you see, you know, if you want to punish someone, you got to beat them slowly. Yeah, you got to beat them slowly. You don't just bang, 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 knock them out, boom, they're gone, yeah? Because what's the point? No, you want to punish them. Yeah, you want to get them in the corner, work their body, bang, bang. Yeah, smack them in the face, jab, 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 few jabs. Yeah, break his nose, split his lip. Yeah, work the body some more. You want to punish him, and this is what I say. Yeah, this is how we do it from this point onwards. Yeah, we leave him, give him the rope, and let him hang himself, because this is it. This is the result. When you leave it, when you keep hammering him, he shells up, doesn't he? He looks like a fucking Ninja Turtle anyway, but he shells up, yeah? With that big humpback, right? He shells up and you can't get to him, yeah? So it's like getting someone on a rope, they just shell up, yeah? You got to let him have the rope to hang himself. Yeah? And this is what we've done. We've let him have the rope to hang himself. So in this video, it's only 10 minutes, this one. Okay, in this video, he tries to argue and tries to explain why it's best to not have any certificates or any qualifications in the trade that you're in. Let's have a little listen, yeah, and hear the cope and the nonsense that Mr. Blaha comes out with to try and convince us, and maybe himself, why it's better to not have any qualifications.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Breakfast with Blaha, and today I'm going to actually eat some Greek yogurt again on camera. I might do this for a while. I don't have to cook in the morning.
Right. I personally don't think that's yogurt. I think it's that cheap whipped cream, like I said last time. You know, he's a dirty, fat piece of shit, yeah? So I think it's just cheap whipped cream, the sugary sort of whipped cream. He probably uses water and whips it up. But that looks like whipped cream, not yogurt.
But I'm having Greek yogurt, pecans. Yes, that's how we say it in Texas. And
what? Pecans. Tomatoes. Why does he have to? Who said that to him? Oh, you don't say it like that. You don't say it like that, blah blah. It's pecans. Who cares? They're nuts. But he's got to try and stretch out the video to over 10 minutes so he can load it with stupid advertisements.
Almond butter. When people keep asking, hey Jason, show us all your meals. You've seen all of them.
What's that? Firstly, who asks him? Look at him all giggly and coy, right? Who asks him to show them his meals? Show us all your meals, Jason, please. We're so interested in everything you do. Who says that? And look how coy he does, like a little thing with his eyes and goes, what a fag. Watch.
When people keep asking, hey Jason, show us all your meals. You've seen all of them. When people keep asking, hey Jason, show us all your meals. You've seen all of them. All your meals. You've seen all of them. Okay, so context. Yesterday, I had some of this, right? I had Greek yogurt, pecans, I had almond butter, right? I take steak and eat guacamole with it. Okay, that's one of my regular meals, steak and guacamole, chicken and guacamole. I take nuts and I pour almond butter on them and eat them with a spoon, or I mix stuff up like this with Greek yogurt. That's it, that's what I eat. It's all my meals. You guys have kind of seen.
So that's it. That's his variety of meals. Nuts with almond butter poured on them. Maybe chucked into the whipped cream here that he's trying to pass off as yogurt. Steak, cheap boiled steak and guacamole, or cheap, like probably really shitty chicken bits like the thighs or something, not even breast. But the cheap leg fucking thigh things, you know, they're horrible bone and gristle. He probably balls them up and eats it with guacamole. Why not have steak and eggs? That's a lot of protein there. That's a good meal. He can't afford eggs, yeah, unless they're on sale. Yeah, his food stamps don't go that far. This is why he lives this poverty food lifestyle, you know, because he's on food stamps. You know, government handout. When you're on benefits for disability, then you get your food stamps by all account. Yeah, he's a welfare check. He's got his little food stamp coupons. And, I think you're not allowed to buy certain things, and you're restricted to buying, I don't know how it works, but it's obvious that he doesn't have the money to buy quality food. Yeah, this is why he eats this shit day in and day out. Anyway, let's crack on.
So let's get over and talk about personal training certificates. I get asked that quite a bit on here. And the funny thing is that trolls or people who dislike me try to use the fact that I don't have any personal training certificates as some sort of negative thing to claim that I'm unqualified to coach when I'm probably...
Right. So what he's trying to do is sort of a little bit of misdirection. Yeah, a little bit of misdirection. So he's careful, he thinks he's smart, yeah, but he's fucking retarded, yeah. What he's trying to do is trying to use the words personal training certificates rather than qualifications, yeah. And qualifications, you can have sports science, biomechanics, nutrition qualification. You can have real qualifications. And then you do get these crappy little personal training sort of certificates where you do a little course. A lot of it's online and you get a certificate. Yeah. Now, a qualification in, like I said, biomechanics or sports science, sports rehabilitation, sports development, you know, all this sort of real coaching qualifications compared to a personal training certificate. Well, the qualifications far outweigh a personal training certificate. He's trying to put the two together and trying to say, you know, trying to just say, oh, you know, they're not worth having. Well, coaching degrees, qualifications are seriously important and they give you serious clout and credential. Yeah. They give you the qualified, you know, the qualifications. If you say you've got, you know, a degree in biomechanics or something like that, then it sets you up. You know, this person knows what they're talking about. Yeah. But he's trying to push the two together and just trying to misdirect you and say, oh, no, it's not worth it. Because personal training certificates, yeah, it's just a little course. Yeah, like I said, a lot of it's online. You just have to show you understand the basics. Yeah, the basics. So it's a basic foundation, and probably from that you would go on, if you like to grow and invest in yourself, you'd go on to do other things, such as maybe get degrees or whatever like that, yeah, in other things like sports science, all that stuff, yeah. But what he's trying to say is they're not worth it, so I don't do it, yeah. So this is how crafty and manipulative he is, but he thinks he's smarter than us and he can pull the wool over our eyes and we won't understand what he's doing. Yeah, so he's trying to put the proper real qualifications in with a personal training certificate. Yeah, like I say, which is only a few hours of study.
3 times what they do coaching. I have a lot of strong lifters. You guys have seen enough videos. I show enough stuff. I do vlogs of clients, right?
Right, we're going to talk about the vlogs of clients in a minute because, well, I'll talk about that in a minute.
My clients get results. My athletes get results. And I'm well paid to do what I do. I enjoy it.
He's well paid to do what he does. That is open to interpretation, yeah? Because if you're not actually doing anything, if you get $1 for it, you're well paid, yeah? Because $1 for doing nothing is pretty good. I'm going to give you $1 for doing absolutely nothing. Not bad. I'll take $1, yeah, or £1. I'll do that. I'll take £1 for nothing. So here you go. Thanks for being you. Here's £1. Here's $1. Thanks very much. So again, open to interpretation. He gets paid for doing. He gets paid well for doing what he does, which is nothing. So even if you make 50p, 50 cents, you're getting paid for nothing. So it's pretty good. It's well paid for nothing. You know, you don't get something for nothing usually.
I refuse to get personal training certificates. And that's what people don't understand. I actually believe that they are bad. And I know that'll throw some people off.
So qualifications are bad, okay? Like I said at the beginning. Do you want a lawyer that's not been to law school? He's just watched some YouTube videos, some, sovereign citizen videos on YouTube, and now he's a lawyer, or he thinks he knows law. Or do you want someone who's been to law school? Do you want to go to a doctor that's been to med school? Or you want to see a doctor that calls himself a doctor, but all he's done is watched YouTube videos? and reinterpreted the information that he watched. I'll take the person that studied. Thanks.
I'm not saying they're entirely bad. I'm saying that they're bad enough that they create bad habits if you already know what you're doing. That they're a potential negative. They create a lot of really bad trainers. And
how can fundamental basic training create bad trainers compared to someone who has no real results of his own? Yeah. So if you look at Mike O'Hearn, yeah, he doesn't need any qualifications. Yeah, he is a walking qualification. You look at Mike O'Hearn, who's in his 50s, don't care if he's taking gear or not, yeah, he is shredded and huge, yeah. He puts his money where his mouth is, yeah. Mike O'Hearn, you'd look at Mike O'Hearn and say, fuck, that guy knows what he's doing. Yeah, you watch Mike O'Hearn train, he's learned through practice, and he is a living embodiment of what he actually knows, because what he's doing is quite obviously working. Yeah, the proof's in the pudding. You can see Mike O'Hearn knows what he's doing. He knows how to put muscle on. He knows how to maintain muscle into his 50s. You know he knows about diet because he's shredded to the bone. Yeah, he's cut like a glass. The guy is shredded, ripped all year round. Right, he has bulk ups. Yeah, we get bulky. You see him getting a bit puffy, and then he knows how to get it all stripped down again, doesn't he? That guy is a living embodiment of knowledge. What's this guy a living embodiment of? Oh my God. Really? What is this? If you saw that thing in the corner of a gym, you'd probably avoid it. Yeah? You'd probably avoid that. Firstly, because it looks contagious. Looks like he's sick with something. But you'd probably avoid that. I certainly would. I'd be like, what the fuck is that thing in the corner? Why is he staring at me? See him reaching into his fanny pack because you're eyeballing him. You know? He's going to take you out. He's going to shoot you in the face. Because he always goes, you know, he's always strapped wherever he goes. Fucking loser. You know, one look at this thing and you're like, well, he certainly doesn't look like he knows how to lift. You know? Looks like a 50-year-old man. I mean, he looks older than he is. Looks like a 50-year-old man that, you know, has been married with kids, lived that sort of really shitty, sort of sedentary lifestyle, just got divorced, and now he's trying to get himself in shape. Yeah? That's what he looks like. You know, just getting back into the gym. He's, you know, having one last shot at trying to fucking get something going, trying to make himself feel good again. But he looks like shit, and you wouldn't go anywhere near that thing. And you certainly wouldn't go up to him and say, hey, I like the way you look. Could you give me some ideas on how I can look like you? But you would say that to Mike O'Hearn. You'd be like, fucking hell, look at that guy. I gotta get some tips off of Mike O'Hearn. Yeah? You see him training every day in Gold's gym. Yeah, you'd go up to Mike O'Hearn. I don't care if you want to be natty or geared up. You'd go up to Mike O'Hearn and you'd say, wow, you look great. 50 years old, he looks great, you know? Anyway, so let's hear more cope from Mr. Blah Blah.
It's not an issue of an inability to get them. All right, context. No matter what you think about me or anything else, again, what I spend on home gym stuff, I blog on my training, I'm always buying new equipment. All right, you guys see me all the time buying a new $700-800 piece of equipment, a new $400 barbell, $200 barbell, all the time. I I can clearly afford to go get personal training certificates.
What does he think a qualification is? Yeah, he's trying to say that, you know, apart from the obvious poverty that he lives in, and the obvious poor diet from lack of funds, you know, I mean, food's one of the most important things you should be putting in. Good, clean food, especially if you're in, you know, fitness and training and all that stuff. You want to really be watching what you eat, right? You are what you eat. If you eat shit, there's the results. All right, but he thinks that, you know, he's trying to create this illusion that he spends thousands of dollars on gym equipment and buys bars, specialist bars, so he could quite obviously afford to go and buy a personal training certificate. He doesn't understand how it works, does he? I mean, clearly he doesn't understand how it works. You have to study, blah, blah. You have to read, study, and answer the questions to pass. Yeah? You have to get a certain pass mark. Just because you go and buy shitty bits of equipment for your cuck shack gym, home gym, doesn't mean you can go and buy certificates. Yeah? You've got to train. You've got to study. You've got to pass the exams. Even if they are easier in a personal training certificate rather than a degree in biomechanics, yeah, you still have to pass certain tests and exams and show that you have a good basic understanding of what's needed to be a personal trainer. And then you can get some insurance and actually become a personal trainer. Yeah? Liability insurance. I mean, the guy's a fucking idiot. You think you should just go and buy one down the market, get some fake personal training certificate. Yeah? Fucking, what the fuck?
Okay, I could have bought 2 less barbells this year. Not spent $800 on dumbbells. And got a personal training certificate. I clearly have the time to read because I read, research continually. I refuse to get one. I refuse. You know why? Because I've read the textbooks to most of these certificates.
So if he's read the textbooks, it would be a piece of piss, wouldn't it? And it would make his potential students feel a little bit safer and more secure that this guy actually knows what he's talking about. Yeah? Credentials, credibility, being able to back up what you talk about. Yeah? It's not for us, it's not for your students. This is good business. If you're running a personal training business, maybe it's good business to have these certificates. If I want to go to a judo coach and train under, do I want to go to some bloke that watches a few YouTube videos, read a couple of books? I don't think he has read books. I think all of his information just comes from other people's YouTube channels and videos. Do I want to go to a judo coach that has watched a few videos, read a couple of books? Or do I want to go to a judo coach that is a 6 times world champion, that's got a degree in sports psychology, sports science, biomechanics? Who would I rather go to? Some bloke who's watched some videos, or a guy that's been there and done it and he's qualified? It's a no-brainer. So if you're running a personal training business, even if it's online and you never actually go to a gym and coach these people properly, yeah, you just critique their form on video with their shirts off, young boys, yeah, if that's your business model, then at least be able to back it up with some certificates, some qualifications. It's good business. It's good for your business. It makes good business sense to show that you are, you've got a nice website, a nice resume, all the people you trained, all the people you've taken from zero to hero, yeah? They've won these awards. You put your achievements on your website. Qualified sports coach, qualified, sports nutrition, all this stuff, yeah? It makes you more attractive as a coach. So this isn't for us. This is for you, blah, blah. But he refuses to. That's for idiots. Makes bad coaches.
What is that read? I've scanned through them quickly.
So he hasn't even read the books. He's just scanned through them. He grabs a book, a judo book, yeah? Oh, yeah, just scan through that. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Right, I got this. Yeah, all in there. No problem, I'm a coach now. Just scan through the judo book. Now I'm a coach. It's like, fuck off, It's like, fuck off. Because it just fucking shits on anyone that's been to college, been to uni, done a shitload of courses, got a shitload of qualification. It just shits on them. This fucking ugly sack of shit who won't leave his cuck shack, who goes out once dressed as a fucking Spartan because someone wound him up and said, oh yeah, it's fancy dress. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, about people winding him up and fucking taking the piss out of it. But it just makes me fucking mad that this sack of shit is obviously not a coach. He's obviously got no clients, and any that are just trolling him. But we will get onto that in a minute.
And in general, the knowledge base is oftentimes so outdated and so bad that someone who already knows anything, just by studying it, taking a test, and programming your brain to think the correct answer is, that you can obtain maximum hypertrophy with 1 minute rest times between sets, which is provably false. Every bit of research that's looked at it has completely debunked that sort of complete, utter nonsense. And it's going to be in there. You have to write in a test something that you know for a fact is provably and scientifically incorrect. And these clowns who are writing it, most of whom don't train any elite athletes, they can't do anything. I've seen some of these people. I've seen how they train. I've seen how strong they are. They're not qualified to coach fucking anybody.
So you're talking about people that have, I don't know what books he's talking about, but from my understanding, personal training, these guys that write the textbooks, just like judo textbooks, the guys behind the exams are usually qualified. They're usually ex-Olympians and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, they're ex-professional athletes. Yeah, and now they've gone out of being professional athletes because they're older and their career as a professional athlete is over. They're not 45 years old trying to cling on to something that never happened. They've had their peak and now they're getting into coaching, because that's what professional athletes do. They become managers, football managers, they become coaches. Yeah, they run the teams and all that sort of stuff. They have their career best, they have their peak where they get golds and win events and all that sort of stuff. And then they get older and they get into coaching. Yeah? Blah blah's never peaked at anything. His life has been just flatline dead. Yeah? But he thinks he knows more than them. Yeah? He knows more than anyone because he's scanned through some books and watched a few videos on YouTube. I mean, the guy's a fucking idiot.
Yet they write these books.
Yeah.
They decide the test questions.
Exactly. Basic knowledge. Good to have. What happened to his ebook? Didn't happen, did it? Fucking idiot.
I'm going to sit here and take a test written by someone who knows less than me telling me what the correct answer is.
So you're talking about a professional athlete that's been at the top of his game and now he's getting into coaching and writing books because he's qualified and, you know, he's got qualifications coming out. Or she has, yeah. But he's saying that he knows better. He knows better than anyone because he's watched a couple of videos. I mean, like I said just earlier, he can't even prove it. There is no picture of him looking good or healthy ever. Yeah? No picture. Michael Hearn walks around, he's living proof that he knows what he's talking about, yeah? Even 50 years old. There is no pictures of this guy looking in shape, ever being ripped. I mean, the guy is looking like shit even now, and this is as good as he gets. This is the best he's ever looked, yeah? But he still looks like a sack of shit. You know. I mean, I've not trained for a couple of months. Yeah, and I've been drinking and working fucking long hours, and I still look better than this guy. I'm older than him as well. He looks like a sack of shit.
Where's your elite numbers in your 40s?
Where's your elite numbers in your 40s? The guy's a fucking idiot.
How strong are your athletes and clients? You're not fucking qualified to tell me what the correct answer is. And that's my attitude towards it. And if you're good at what you do, it should be that attitude. But here's the issue. Not only is a lot of the information incorrect and bad and outdated, they create a mindset of, oh, these are the correct answers. And then the problem is in the communities that build around it. Go to some of the groups. Go to some of the groups for these personal training things. For some of the big certificates. Some of the groups.
So I'm just have a look at his thumb.
Go to some of the groups for these personal training things. For some of the big certificates. And look at the community conversations they have in their circles.
Someone in my someone sent me a message. They think he's back on the gear. This is why he's getting a bit feisty. Fuck you, you're not qualified. You know, all this fuck you business. He's getting a bit feisty. He's back on a little bit of gear. And all it's doing is just giving him more estrogen. Yeah, his body's producing more estrogen because he's just a fucking clown. But you can see by the shaky fingers and hands and that, he's probably back on the gear.
A lot of ignorance. Corrective exercises. Corrective exercises to fix movement patterns. People doing stuff on Bosu balls. Right? A lot of bad programming information. And they sit in their circles and share it with each other. Okay, it can put you in communities of people who don't know anything. All right, and whose knowledge of training is quite frankly criminally negligent. Or
criminally negligent. Now, criminally negligent is having no qualifications, yeah, and trying to palm yourself off as a coach. That is criminally negligent. Having no liability insurance, that is criminally negligent. Yeah, lying that you're a coach when you're not. That is criminal.
by supposed professionals. So there's the issue. These certificates and taking these tests, because the information in the test isn't correct, the culture has information that isn't correct. It's going to teach you bad stuff. It's going to make you a shitty coach. You're worse off for having done it.
So you're worse off for having learned the basic fundamentals of coaching. Whatever trade you're going into, whether it's personal training through bodybuilding, weight loss, whatever, martial arts, doesn't matter. You're worse off from having a qualification. It makes you worse off. I mean, who else could say that and keep a straight face? You're worse off being qualified than you are being unqualified. Where does that make sense?
You know why you get these? It's a hoop gyms make you jump through to train there. Like a trained seal or a trained dog making you jump through a hoop to get a job there. Instead of just knowing your shit. Because you've got...
Oh, he knows his shit. We all know your shit as well, blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows your shit.
Years of coaching. You want to learn how to coach, read everything, learn everything, then start coaching people. Be willing to do anything you're going to subject your people to. You're going to have clients run conjugate periodization with bands and chains. You better have some practice doing it. You better know what you're doing. Okay, coaching is an art form based upon knowledge and science as an applied science.
Where do you read that?
Doing. And it is that simple. Learn from the best. Don't worry about certificates. Look at what the best coaches out here are doing. Study their methods.
Oh, fuck off, blah, blah, you fucking idiot. The best coaches are qualified coaches. Yeah? So he says, learn from the best coaches, study their techniques, blah, blah. The best coaches are qualified coaches. Fucking hell.
Read everything. Experiment with yourself. Start training people for free. Do you want to be a trainer or a coach? Start coaching people for free for a while. Get some practice in. Okay, build your reputation that way. It's going to be a side job for you for a while. Probably for years.
Right, that is the bit I wanted to hear. Yeah? Because I've watched this. Right. He gives us a little insight into this coaching, online coaching bullshit that he's trying to fucking pull off, yeah? Because he's not that smart and he's doing these on the fly, he's given us an insight, and this is what he does accidentally. It sort of slips, yeah? The truth comes out because he's a retard and he can't control himself, yeah? So the truth comes out every now and again when he's talking about something, yeah? Because he just sort of rambles away talking absolute bollocks, trying to sound intelligent when he's as dumb as a post, yeah? But what he's done there is revealed a truth, yeah?
Experiment with yourself. Start training people for free. Do you want to be a trainer or a coach? Start coaching people for free for a while.
Yep. So he says start coaching people free for a while. If you want to be a coach, bear in mind he's only been a coach for a couple of years. Not a coach. He's only been calling himself a coach for a couple of years, yeah? And he gives us an insight here.
Get some practice in. Okay, build your reputation that way. It's going to be a side job for you for a while. Probably for years.
There we go. Now, I remember making a video about this clown ages ago, saying that he's probably doing it for free, Yeah. And anyone, as he said, he probably watched the video and he's remembered it. Yeah. I said, you're going to do it for free. If you're going to start coaching or anything like that, you build your reputation up, you do it for free. And it, as he says, it's going to be a side job. Yeah. They say you're not going to make money from this for a while. Yeah. If this is what you legitimately want to do, you're not going to be making money. Yeah. Like any business, you never make money in the first couple of years. Yeah. It's very, very rare to make money, certainly profit, in the first couple of years. Yeah. Anyone that knows anything about business will know that. Yeah. You're going to be broke for the first couple of years. All right. And he's given us an insight. Yeah. And that is where I think he truly is. He's probably got a couple of idiots, young boys. You know, he gets paid what he wants to get paid because he doesn't want money. He just wants to see videos of guys, young guys with their shirts off in their underwear, that sort of thing. We know this, yeah? We know he's been sending dick pics to kids and all that stuff, apparently. I don't know for sure, do I? But that's the rumor, yeah? Now, yeah, he let us into it. He slipped up there. And I personally think if there are any clients, yeah, he's just doing it sort of as a little hobby, and he's certainly not getting paid for it. Yeah, there's not a chance in hell. And I've said this all the way through. Some people think he has got clients. Some people think he's getting money from it. I don't think he's making a fucking bean from it. He's not making anything from them. If there are clients, and if there are clients, yeah, he's just doing it for free. Yeah, just to practice. Yeah, because he's not qualified. He's got no credentials, got no credibility. Yeah, he's not living proof that he knows what he's doing because he looks like shit. Yeah, so I personally think he's offering his services. Hey, look, I'm a YouTuber. I got a channel with fitness in the title. I got 100,000 subs. We know most of them are fake. Bought because he only gets 2,000 views if he's lucky per video. Yeah, so we know the numbers don't add up there. He's doing it for free. And personally, I think people that do go to him are doing it as a troll. So Mikey, yeah, he ain't around anymore, is he? That little skinny Twinkie kid, he's not around anymore. Pookie or whatever his name is, Poochie. Yeah, he's not around anymore. And his latest troll, pretending to be a client, is Emma. All right, so she's been putting up these videos, sending in videos, yeah. Probably she's got her own channel. I haven't looked into it, yeah, but she probably wants to try and just generate some more sort of interest in her channel if she's got one. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look into that. But the latest video, yeah, the latest video is her. Yeah, this is her latest video to him. Now, this doesn't seem serious, yeah. Her husband, I think, is Louis, yeah, and her brother are there trolling the shit out of Blaha, yeah. Because she's been sending in these videos, sort of stringing them along, yeah, trying to get a bit of exposure, a bit of clout, yeah. And then these guys know the real truth, and they're just trolling him, yeah. So this isn't serious, yeah. This proves that Emma does not take him seriously. She would not have let him upload this, yeah. She would have sent him another video of her training. The fact that there's sort of gay, sort of high energy dance music on this, yeah. I said gay because a lot of gays like high energy dance music, yeah. And the fact that these guys are just larking about and taking the piss, yeah, and she's laughing and smiling. The fact that she sent this to him and he's too stupid to realise what's going on, he's uploaded it, they're taking the piss out of him. They are taking the piss out of him. There's no way she's paying him $250 a month, yeah? And they are just taking the piss out of him. Look. Look, she's laughing. She's going, "You fuckers," you know? just taking a piss. Yeah, let's make blah blah a video, come on. Look, she's laughing. The game's up. Yeah? The game's up. Yeah, we know the game is up. It's just, they're taking the piss out of him. Alright, so in conclusion, yeah, he's a fucking idiot for thinking having no qualifications makes you a better coach than someone with qualifications. Yeah, he's not getting paid. Yeah, he's let it slip that he's doing anything he can to get a client, and that includes just, you know, doing it for free for the first few years. He's only been doing it a couple of years, right? And any clients that do pretend to be serious are actually just trolls. I mean, if that didn't look like a troll video, I don't know what did. All right, so that's it. I mean, the guy is not a coach. He's got no credibility. He's got no qualifications. Yeah, he's got no insurance if you get injured. Yeah, he's got nothing. All right, he never leaves his cuck shack. Doesn't go to gyms. Yeah, that pathetic shit he did where he was dressed as a fucking Spartan. It's just a joke, unsanctioned, just silly little fucking gym competition. And yeah, and this, yeah, they're taking the piss out of him. And you know, it's you can see it now. It's just a joke. They don't take him seriously. No one takes him seriously. Yeah. So Mikey was just getting coached for free, you know, just to get a bit of exposure. Pookie or whatever his fucking name is, yeah, he was just probably a naive kid. Yeah, there are no coach, there is no money, there is no coaching clients, you know, he's not a coach. And that's it. I hope that's been informative. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share them, and I'll speak to you in the next roast.